Yes, I'd like you guys to mark your attendance, please, and then give me the answer to my question. Have we understood the story?
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
yes, I've understood it.
Are you interested in making your own billy cart?
No, I do not like construction. I like art.
You like art? Oh,
Same.
great. You know what, guys? Shakar, he makes amazing sketches. He has this, beautiful talent. I'm so glad I've got such talented students. We've got Hamail, who is learning to play a guitar. And then we've got Shakar, who makes beautiful sketches. He let me view a few last year, and I was completely impressed. So I'd love it if you guys would show me your talents as well. Okay? Acha, I
Oh,
am.
Hamayel is also good at cosplaying as Denki Kaminari.
Ooh, la la.
Thank you.
Right, right. Acha, when I see your display pictures on Google Classroom, I get to, I get some feels about you guys as well into animes and all. Korean stuff. I'm a K-pop lover myself.
BTS.
Not just
I'm
BTS.
good at Russian roulette.
Ooh, I love those too. Um, I,
Ma'am, you like Russian roulette?
yes,
Russian.
I do. I have. I'm not very. I'm not very fond of them, but I do follow a few things that they do.
The one where you spin a gun around and then hope it doesn't have a bullet in it.
Yes. I remember when we were young, our father told us, used to, narrate such stories to us. And people, and there were many, gorgeous looking Hollywood stars who died that way. The name skips my mind right now, but there was this very famous Hollywood star who was playing this Russian roulette with his own pistol and, and suddenly off with his head. Right.
At
Depressing.
least,
Him.
at least, some of his brains came to the outside world.
Well, at least we got to know that he did have some brains.
Yeah,
Hannah, your teacher seems to be in a very sadistic mood today. Right. Coming to
I
our
like murder.
coming to our lesson, page number 20. We will be doing question answers today. And I see that I got to know that Simona is already done with her work, the work that we're supposed to do today. Mashallah, she has already done it yesterday. If you come to your books, page number 20, under the title Reading for Understanding, are you guys with me? Ooh, where did I?
I'm still
Yes.
bookless.
Okay. When you come to reading for understanding, your first question is, how did the adult residents express their feelings about the children racing their billy carts on the Sunbeam Avenue footpaths? I've got a
They
few
were
visuals lined up over here. In the visuals, you can see there's the first picture where the children, they're having fun in their billy carts. Right below it, you can see that there's a hand holding a hose and there's water coming out of it. This is the best example of explaining the term hosing. A hose is basically a pipe used to spray water on the plants. At times, as you can see in the next picture up over here, there are children hosing each other, spraying each other with water. And then you can see on the bottom in the right hand corner that there's a little child sitting all sad. Now, the idea is ideas I have presented for you. The children, they are billy carting, and the adults, they are hosing. The thing with hosing is when you spray somebody with water, what happens?
they get
They get
soggy.
free.
They get what?
Soggy.
Yeah. Can we use a more conventional word? Saki is slang. What would be a conventional word?
Mover.
Sorry?
Soaked. Soaked.
Okay. Other than soap, when I throw water at somebody, someone is doing their work with full concentration, very intently, and if I throw water at them, what will happen? They will be, other than being soaked, they will be, someone is
They
doing it
would have
with
lost your respect.
concentration, and I am, I don't want them to concentrate. What am I doing? I am
Disturbing them.
disturbing them, distracting them. So when the adults um, hosed the children, they were actually distracting the children. Okay?
Ma'am, why didn't they just file a nose complaint?
Good idea. But back in those days, probably they didn't have it. Yes. So how will you answer the question?
Stupid then.
How did the adult residents express their feelings about the children racing their billy carts on the Sunbeam Avenue footpaths?
They were hosing the grim-faced riders.
And that would be it. Can anyone else participate? Oh, ye kya kar diya maine? Yes. Can I have other people? Okay, I have Abdullah, Ariba, Hamail, Simona, and Shakar. Yes, please. Please speak up. I have the answers with me. It's not that I don't have the answers, but I want you guys to participate. Abdullah, Amir.
Ma'am,
Yes.
residents often took the law into their own hands, causing the grim-faced rider as they went shrieking back.
Ah, very good. You and I think
Ma'am, that was
that's
my point.
exactly what I wrote. Residents often took the law into their hands, hosing the grim-faced riders as they went shrieking by. In this way, the adult residents expressed their feelings about the children racing their billy carts on the Sunbeam Avenue footpaths. Question 2. What was the advantage of Clive's rubber wheels?
Friction allowed it to go
Friction.
faster, so that you wouldn't be relegated to the ranks of the little kids.
Okay, and where did the rubber wheels no, there was a specific point mentioned in the text where it tells you the advantage. Yes.
The traction of the rubber tires made it possible to negotiate
Negotiate.
the corner in some style.
But can I, the thing is, Sweetie Pie, in GCE exam, in your GCSE exams, you do not have to copy from the text. Okay, you have to take the idea from the text and write it in your own words. If you notice over here in the previous text as well, um, the thing, the text that I have written in blue, this is all extracted and written in own words, whereas the text written in red is what has been taken from the question. Okay? So in GCSE exams, you do not have to copy from your text. Okay, there are certain chunks that you can copy, but you cannot take the whole text as it is. Okay? Yes. Can you give me the same thing in your own words? Negotiate, round the turn. Can you give me the same thing in your own words? This will be a little longer answer. People who are not participating, Hamail, Abdullah Amir,
Yes, ma'am.
Ji bache, why don't you give me the answer? What was the advantage of Clive's rubber wheels? Remember, he had the pram wheels on his billy
Yes,
cart.
ma'am.
तो क्या फायदा हुआ उसको, किस जगह पे खास तौर पे उसको फायदा होता है?
Footpaths पे concrete parts.
Sorry?
Concrete parts.
क्या concrete path बेटे? Have you noticed that I do not give you guys, I just discuss question answers with you guys. Till now we've done at least 3 texts. This is the 4th one we are doing, or this is the 3rd we are doing? ये 3rd text कर रहे हैं हम लोग इकट्ठे या 4th कर रहे हैं? We have done sun swallow, and then we've done 2 reports, and then this is our 3rd text, है ना? अब तक
Yes, ma'am.
जो 2 हम पहले कर चुके हैं, क्या मैंने उसके आंसर्स आप लोगों को दिए या हम डिस्कस करते हैं? बोलो ना बच्चे.
Ma'am, the advantage of the rubber wheels was that he could go around the corner in style, and he developed a move which would allow him to go faster, which made him differentiate himself from the little kids.
Exactly. And it alleviated him to the ranks of adult kids. Very good. Clive's rubber wheels were easily moldable, even at the right angle turning towards the Irene Street. The traction of rubber tires made it possible to negotiate the most difficult corners. See, I have taken the same words, but I have written them in my own. Histrionically, he
What does histrionic mean?
Histrionically, he leaned over his body, slided the back wheels, and crossed the corner unscathed by leaving the black trails of burnt rubber. The words, the ideas are similar to what has been written in the original text, but they have been reused in my own way. Okay? Moving over to question 3. What did the children think about Mrs. Barthwaite?
Ma'am, they think that
They
she is
thought
a
that
witch, and they believe that she poisoned cats.
She poisoned
She
cats.
think that she was a witch.
And when somebody touches her flower,
Uh-huh.
she called police.
She would call the police, even if they plucked a single petal of her garden. See, the thing with the old lady was, see, if you understand the Western culture, the thing is, once the children they turn 18, they are free to leave the house. Okay, so now the old lady, she's living all alone, and and the old people in the Western culture, to to stay away from boredom, they devote themselves to their hobbies, and they are so into their hobby, into the thing they love, that they take good care of their hobby. So for the old lady, her puppies were not only her prized possession, but they were also her lovely, like to her, they were like her children. Okay, the puppies, they were like her children because she cared for them just like any mother would care for her children. Okay, so when the children, when anybody even plucked a petal, she would ring the police. The children thought that Mrs. Barthwaite was a known witch, and it was widely believed that she poisoned cats. She was a great ringer-up of the police. Her behavior seemed irrational hatred of children. Next question. How did
I
Mrs.
don't understand Western culture. I only understand Northern culture.
Right. See, it's just that they give freedom to their children, and once the children they are free to move on their own,
It's
they
very
do,
similar.
yeah, they do not return to their parents. Coming to the parents' home is an occasional thing, especially like that is why they created the Mother's Day, the Father's Day, Thanksgiving, and such some traditional holidays, and certain religious holidays, they are then celebrated together as families. Okay, if you notice in if you read storybooks, or if you watch movies as well, um, the Thanksgiving dinner would usually be at the grandparents' house. The Christmas dinner would usually be at the grandma's house. Okay, because um, children usually go to like they take their grandchildren, or I would take my grandchildren with myself to my parents' house, and so that's how their celebrations are basically celebrated, using the word twice. Okay, how did Mrs. Bathwaite feel about her poppies? From paragraph 3. Yes,
She was extremely overprotective of them, and she would make sure that none of them would be illicitly picked, and if they were, then she would call the police.
exactly. Mrs. Bathwaite was a renowned gardener. You have to mention that everybody knew that she was a gardener, possessing the best collection of poppies, and in the whole neighborhood, she had the best collection of poppies, and she felt deep concern towards her flowering empire. Her empire for her, the flowers in her garden, they were part of her empire. She did not hesitate to phone the police if someone tried to pluck her flowers illegally.
That's the weakest empire I've ever seen.
But for her, they were her pride and joy. Now, if you notice, I have the word felt, the verb felt is in green. This is to show that in the text, you have the word feel. And when you write the answer, you are changing feel into its past form, felt. Okay? So please make sure that you're using the correct form of verb while you are attempting your questions. Next question. Explain how Clive made his train. Why did he build it? The question is in two parts. The first, how the train was built, and the second, why was it built? Yes. Who would like to answer? Hamail.
Skip.
Yes. You can take some time. I think our lesson will go 5 minutes extra.
Ma'am, I can answer.
Yes. I think I'm only teaching Shahkar today.
He built it out of whatever he could find, as he didn't have as much materials as the older kids.
We were talking about the super cart. Remember, towards the end, he made a train of billy carts.
Oh,
She
he connected a bunch of the younger kids' trains,
Huh.
carts, and then he made it look like a train,
Hmm. And called
and
it a
and he built it because he was sick of watching the older kids uh, just do what they want.
whiz by. Okay, Clive made his train by removing the front axles of all the billy carts except the one in front, and loosely bolted about a dozen carts long with a big box cart at the back. Clive built this train to impress others, and also because he was bored by the faster, the ball carts whizzing by, or quickly, speedily passing by. Now, next question is, who was in the box cart at the back of the train? And how do you know
um
the approximate age of the passengers? Look at the
They
picture.
there were
were
little
around.
kids.
Yes, you can. Yes, darling. Shakar, let her.
uh, there were little kids in the back cart, and how do we found their age, that they were holding toys collars in their hands, and they were sucking dummies.
They were sucking dummies. Very good. Little kids were in the box cart at the back of the train. And we know their approximate age because they were holding toy collars and sucking dummies. I hope the pictures will help embed the idea in your mind. Are they helpful?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that was the purpose. Yes. Question number 7, Clive drove his own cart round the sharp angled corner into Irene Street successfully. But what happened to the train of carts behind him from paragraph 6?
They rolled over.
They rolled over
The kids
simply.
fell.
And other than rolling over, what happened?
Ma'am, the back cars followed him and they need the larger radius than the front one, and they actually they fell down.
Exactly. And when they fell, what did they do? They scathed the poppies. And what happened? Everything went flying.
Yes, ma'am.
And what went flying? Kids, their dummies, toy collars, and the poppy petals. So basically the question is in two parts. Uh, um, First, you're going to explain what happened to the. Oh, okay, yeah. Clive drove his own cart. Yeah, first you're going to show how Clive successfully drove his cart, and then what happened to the rest. Clive drove his own cart round the sharp angled corner in the Irene Street successfully with an extreme slide. Next few carts followed him, but the back carts needed the larger radius than the one in front. It results that huge and enormous train fell down and smashed violently. I was still making question number 8 when it was time to take your lesson. So we will go about what happened to Mrs. Barthwaite's poppies and to Mrs. Barthwaite herself. Look at the pictures and they will give you quite an idea.
Ma'am, her poppies were destroyed and she was shocked.
She was in a state of shock and she was taken immediately to the hospital in the police car. Nobody waited for the ambulance. Now, since I have given you answers for question number 1 to 8, reading for understanding, your home task is to do the second bit, reading for inference, question number 1 to 8. And since you have to infer the ideas, you have to extract the ideas yourself. Hence, I would like you to, and obviously, reading for inference does not require long answers. Okay, so that is why I am assigning reading for inference task as your home task. Okay, so I'd like you guys to attempt question number 1 till 8, reading for inference on your own. Reading for understanding question number 1 to 8 will be provided via the PowerPoint slides. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Once more, do we understand the text?
Yes.
Knock, knock, everybody there?
Yes.
Because I don't feel like my students.
Yeah, I understand.
Who left? Abdullah Amir left. Yeah, I fail to understand why you take 5 minutes of the lesson and then you leave. The only purpose is to mark your attendance in Zoom and then leave. Chalo, koi masla nahi hai. From Monday, inshallah, most probably we will start, studying from school, inshallah, because there are chances. I think before the weekend, what's the name of our Murad Ras? And Murad Ras is from Karachi, I guess. Our education minister, by the way, he's going to, hold another meeting, and we're going to decide whether the schools will be opened, whether we will have physical classes or not. Inshallah, fingers crossed, we will have physical classes. We will return to school.
I hope they don't.
You
I
hope,
don't want to go to school.
I feel children learn better in a class. Students learn better in a class. I feel this way. I feel we teach well. I have a million resources on my hand, and it's quite helpful. But learning is much better.
Remember, the thing is, I wake up 2 minutes before the class. And
you-
then before the second class, I get ready.
That,
At least we have 1 hour extra
Hannah,
of sleep.
exactly. Instead of 8 in the morning, it's 9 in the morning. And that is the reason why I think people do not switch on their cams.
Mhm.
Look at my sleepy face. Do I look sleepy?
Yes, ma'am, I look like trash right now.
I woke up at 6 and I think I just splashed some water on my face. And since then, I've been busy in the household chores. Oh, everything is on